Britney pictures accounted for 20% of paparazzi coverage worldwide.
When I found out how much money I could make, it was amazing. So I just said, you know what, I'm going to stick with this. I mean, you can make hundreds of thousands of dollars, or you can just make $5,000, or you can make $500.
From 2006 to 2007, Britney was a cover subject of People, US Weekly, In Touch, Life and Style, OK, or Star Magazine, a total of 175 times. So in a year and a half, she was on the cover of some tabloid 175 times. A celebrity tabloid with Britney Spears on the cover would sell about 1.28 million copies. That's 33% more than average, according to this article. And in the 7-year time span between 2000 and 2007, Britney Spears was the #1 search on Yahoo for 6 of them.
For 6 of the past 7 years, she has been the #1 search term on Yahoo, falling into second place only once in 2004 when Paris Hilton briefly took the crown. But if you look at that, that's 7 years. That's an economic cycle. So the Britney economy may be impervious to the overall economy.
And Yahoo was like the landing page for a lot of our computers at the time. It was like as big as Google. It was basically Google. It was like the thing that you would use to search at that time. I mean, Google did exist at that time, but Yahoo was the default browser on most of our computers. So now we know that entire industries relied on Britney Spears, and people's entire lives and livelihoods and their abilities to support their families and stuff like that depended on Britney. So when Britney started to try and exercise her own voice and give her own opinions and exercise her own autonomy, you can imagine how the masterminds of this whole scheme started to freak out a little bit, especially in 2004 whenever Britney put all of her assets into a trust to protect all of her money from these people. See, they were used to dealing with Britney Spears, the little girl. And I'm talking Larry Rudolph, James Parnell Spears, and anyone else who's been around the whole entire time. Now, we do have a whole video coming out at some point eventually, probably soon, on these early years of Britney's career. We traced it back down to who those first managers were.
At the tender age of 5, Britney was already being groomed by her mother, Lynn.
We cross-referenced all the books. We'll get into all of that. But the point is, when Britney started acting like a grown-up, I don't think the masterminds appreciated it very much. It seems like they had no idea how to deal with Britney the adult instead of Britney the little girl. So they stole her rights to even enter into contracts. The exact same year Britney was put into the conservatorship, that team had her recording the Circus album. And the next year when the conservatorship was made permanent, she was on a tour. I think it might have been a worldwide tour. The first year the conservatorship was permanent, the year after they put it into place. She had recorded a whole album and was doing a tour. By 2013, her first Las Vegas residency was underway.
The one and only Britney Spears drops out of the sky. Ladies and gentlemen, in a helicopter and joins us this morning. Britney, thank you so much. I saw you in the helicopter, see the folks out here. What was going through your mind?
It's craziness. It's so chaotic. Actually, I got sick in the helicopter.
By 2018, she had just completed a second one, and they had her lined up to do a third residency before she finally said, I just can't. I need a break.
Ladies and gentlemen, Britney Spears!
And this was all happening in some of her managers' friends' hotel, bringing hundreds of millions of dollars into the Vegas economy as well over the course of 8 or 9 years or whatever it was.
Behind all the bling bling, Joe, Gavin, and George, along with the rest of their family, have worked very hard to build their empire. George runs the Palms, a 440-room hotel and casino they own off of the famous Vegas Strip.
We wanted to create the ultimate party place. It was our intention to go after celebrities and athletes.
But there's one celebrity in particular that George has reportedly pursued more than others.
Your chef was Britney's father, right?
Yeah, Jimmy.
So you know Britney?
I know the whole family. She
Okay.
for Christmas a few times and stuff.
Britney Spears did.
But I'll leave Larry's friends for another day. And just to remind y'all, this whole entire time of this conservatorship, Britney was literally trafficked, abused, treated as a slave. She was treated as if she were not even a human being. Some of the paperwork, never mind, let me not even get into that today. That's a video for another day too. We got so many. And that's one of the reasons it's hard to tell this story, because it just has so many tentacles. But this article gets kind of into why. There's so many tentacles, there's so many connections, because there was so much money to make. It was something like the world has never seen. This is like nobody, I don't think in history, has been able to get views like this. So the article says a number of things I found very interesting and compelling and that caused me to have to think about things, but this quote really got me in particular. I think the main point of the article actually comes down to this sentence, and it ended up being a pretty ominous prophecy. Again, this article was written the same month Britney was put in the hospital against her will for the conservatorship. It says Britney's peak touring and recording years are surely behind her, but the public's fascination with her chaotic life continues to mint money for those selling her image. So in a way, Britney was actually worth more to the people who were in charge of handling her than she was to even her own self. At least if you're talking about money. The article goes on to say, this Britney Industrial Complex illustrates the economy's need for celebrities. Vast amounts of money can be made by manufacturing ones who appeal, particularly to the young. Britney was once one of those. Although at age 26, she has leapt that demographic boundary.
Now I'm 25, and if I really wanted to, I could still be a young woman and do something completely different and have a whole new career and still have, hopefully, my whole life ahead of me.
But you could say the same thing about someone like Britney Spears.
Absolutely.
There's only 3 months age difference between you and Britney.
Absolutely.
And look at the difference. Complete disaster.
Well, I mean, people handle different things differently, and thank God I've been, surrounded by honesty, and thank God I've chosen to still be around people that I trust. And it's really difficult when you're a celebrity to know the difference.
So back in 2008, the same month that the conservatorship was all getting put into place, they were signing papers for it. 1 month before that happened, there were these articles, and they were shared, people read them, that the economy needed celebrities and that Britney was no longer going to be appealing to the young. And so how are these people going to make more money off of her is basically what this article was predicting, and now we see how. But I did find it to be very interesting that he did point out that Britney Spears, TM, the brand, not the person, Britney Spears, the brand, was manufactured, specifically backed by the biggest players and the biggest names in the industry who had a track record for knowing exactly how to do this with the boy bands and the girl bands and the Lou Pearlmans of it all. And we've really only just skimmed the very tip of the iceberg on this. In the next parts of this series, I'm gonna get into those early days, the Mickey Mouse Club days, the Justin Timberlake connections. I've already started talking about it a little bit on That Surprise Witness, but we're gonna get into it here. Also want to talk a little bit more about Lou Pearlman in particular and all of that stuff, so stay tuned. We have a lot more stuff coming. And who knows what other type of stories are gonna spring up over the course of this research and stuff like that, but I can definitely tell you, I will be covering a lot of the players in this whole industrial complex, including getting into the paparazzi, the Perez Hiltons of it all. Yes, Larry Rudolph. Yes, Harvey Levin, TMZ, People's Court. I mean, it's going to take some twists and some turns. So turn the notification bell on. Make sure you're subscribed so you can see that when we put them out. Thanks. That's all I really had for today. In the meantime, facts ain't defamation. Love you, mean it. Okay, bye.
Who I really blame are paparazzi that are taking this shot. I understand there should be some kind of safety zone. I agree. Second part is who's distributing the content. The third ultimate blame, which drives the Britney Spears economy, is the person who's standing in line at a supermarket buying that magazine. The person who grabs the remote control and tunes in.
Hey, Britney, when's the last time you talked to Adnan? Who's that? No, exactly. There you go.
You know
exactly.
What? That's the comment of the night, right?
Who is that? Adnan who?
I'm sure he's not a paparazzi.
Yeah.
I will tell you something Adnan said to me that was a little bit of chilling, which is I asked him how much a photo would go for between the two of us, and he goes, it would be worth a lot if you died tomorrow.
25 years old, and she's already accomplished everything she's going to accomplish in her life.
You mean everyone in the country wants Britney Spears to
on a lie.
herself?
Britney was chosen a long time ago
to be built up and adored, and then sacrificed for harvest.
Hello everybody, thank you for checking out the channel. What you just saw was actually a clip from a larger video that I just did, or maybe I did it a while back, depends on when you see the clip. If you want to see the full video, check the description box, it'll be linked down there. In the meantime, make sure you're subscribed and have the notifications on, and make sure you didn't get inadvertently unsubscribed. That's all I really have for today. In the meantime, facts ain't defamation, and neither are opinions, girl. Love you, mean it, okay, bye.
BJ investigate, she gonna find the truth. She gonna crack the case here. It's not a lie when it's paperwork. She will expose the truth. Daily updates for you. Better subscribe like I knew you would. We gotta stand for what's right. We gotta do for the good, yeah. I don't know what y'all have heard. That surprise witness got the word. We don't believe in Scientology. I do not need your mind control on me. We don't need your conservatorships, no. We doing right what's right for the kids. Whoa.
Y'all cannot control me. I control my own mind. You could've controlled me then. Still not in this lifetime. Can he send us down the pink angel from the heavens of truth? You don't want to debate with BJ. The studying law is what she do.